I've probably done like about 5 takes making this video, but here comes another one. Hi everybody, you know who this is. You follow me, you subscribe to me, you leave likes on my videos. No comments, I would really appreciate it if you did, but hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, right? So, the topic of today's video, before I start, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment. Let me know what your opinions of this topic or issue really are. You agree with me, you don't agree with me, and if you don't, please tell me why. So, the thumbnail that you saw that caught your attention is about pay to win. It's about pay to win, having an advantage over other players, when in fact you don't. Now let me explain why. These YouTubers, and they keep saying that same thing over and over again. Every time they talk about DMZ or something, they talk about how these bundles are pay to win. I've already heard them say it several times, and I gotta tell you, in my honest opinion, they're full of shit. They are so full of shit that they're gonna back up the toilet. Yeah, that simple. They're gonna back up the toilet on how full of shit they are. Why it is that I'm saying that, I'm gonna tell you. You guys remember Battlefront 2? You know, EA, Star Wars Battlefront 2? You guys remember how when it first came out, there were microtransactions that you bought in order to purchase mystery loot boxes, and those mystery loot boxes came with either like stormtrooper cosmetics or player cards, and those player cards were to add to your characters and your ships so that you can have an advantage over other players. And I know that for a fact because I played it. I had the game when it first came out, and I tried it in multiplayer, and everybody who had money laying around or didn't care about how, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, spent hundreds of dollars for these microtransactions, bought all these mystery loot boxes, and they had advantage over other players because they had the, you know, the purple power cards, or the three tier power cards in Battlefront 2. You've seen this. If you don't, look it up. There's tons of videos of it on YouTube. Yeah, they're pretty old now. They're like about maybe 5 years old or 6 years old or something like that. But it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Down to the point where even someone from Hawaii, some politician from Hawaii got involved with that whole pay to win shit. That's pay to win. Because once you obtained these cards and you added them to your character or your ship of preference, whether it was a TIE Fighter, the X-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, or whatever, those power cards stayed throughout the entire match. And the people that had those cards had an advantage over players that had a disadvantage if they didn't have the same cards to power up their characters and or ships on that match. You had to wait 8 to 10 minutes or longer than that. I think the longest I've ever been in a match was like maybe 13 minutes in one match for Battlefront 2. But I was getting my butt constantly kicked by people that had these power-up cards for Battlefront 2. And it stayed that way throughout the entire match. Not taken from them, not dropped, or anything like that during the whole match. That's pay to win, guys. That's pay to win. So end cost of it. Now, the bundles that you buy from from Call of Duty's, you know, store, like Dark Rituals 3 or the Izzy bundle or several others that are there, they have a medium-sized backpack, a 2-tier vest, a self-revive, and a UAV. Not to mention the 15-minute cooldown weapons that comes with those bundles. Now, first off, those 15 minutes, you're going to tell me that you're going to wait an entire 15 minutes in the lobby in order for you to have that cooldown so that you can have access to your custom weapons so that you can bring into DMZ and not have to take the crappy ass weapons that you pick up as contraband from DMZ, because they're crap, and unless you go to the workbench, they're crap. You prefer to take the ones that you bought with the bundle, right? Okay, so 15-minute cooldown. I don't really see an advantage over other players when it comes to that. I really don't, but I see an advantage for other players when they take my custom weapons from that bundle. You know, I see an advantage for them, but not for me when I lose it and I have to wait 15 minutes for the cooldown. So I see no advantage there over other players. Now, The medium-sized backpack and the two-tier vest. I'm gonna start with those two before I continue with the next. The vest, two-tier. Even with three, I've noticed that other players take my ass down quick, especially if they have that weird, setup with their weapons, the meta stuff. You know how they're always talking about meta weapons, that it gives you better recoil, I mean actually less recoil, better hits, more damage and shit like that. Even if I've had the three-tier vest, the one with the purple, I've seen them take my ass down super fast. And with the two, if they have only one, they take my vest and they use it for themselves. The medium-sized backpack, I don't really see that an advantage on other players, really. I mean, I see that as an advantage for yourself in looting, but I don't really see that as an advantage against other players. I know what you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what if you pick up a UAV and a self-revive and a this and a that? Well, it's because, it's like I said, that doesn't really serve much of an advantage over other players, especially if they're modding. If they're using hitboxes and wall hacks and 2D mapping, I don't really see those as an advantage over other players. I don't really even see that as an advantage against the NPCs in Mazra, Ashika Island, and Vondel. Now let's continue with the next two, the self-revive and the UAV. Now the self-revive is self-explanatory. It's so that you can self-revive if you get downed. But how is that an advantage against other players? Let's say, for example, you're in Ashika Island and you're trying to reach the castle, and there's already a player on the top of the castle rooftop, and all that POS is doing is looking for players to shoot down. Now, if he sees you and he downs you and you have a self-revive, you have seconds in between before he decides to get in an angle where he takes you out completely. And even if you do have the time to self-revive, guess what happens? You better have spare plates there with you, man, because if you don't, he's going to just down you again. Now, if they don't do it that way, then they'll rush you. They'll rush you, and then they'll take you out before you use the self-revive. And the only advantage that you have is that if they down you from far away and you self-revive, but you run away to a different angle, in a different position, that still really doesn't serve much as an advantage over other players. Not even against the NPCs. Because they'll down you and you'll self-revive, but you're going to have to run away and find cover and use plates if you have some to retaliate against the NPCs. Now, UAV. I've used the UAVs from DMZ that I pick up, and they last like about maybe 30 seconds tops. You don't really get much done in 30 seconds. They'll tell you the position of where the NPCs are, and if you're lucky, you actually get to see on the minimap if there's enemy operators around. But like I said, 30 seconds really doesn't help you in a lot. There's no real advantage when it comes to using the UAV that comes with these bundles, because you could just go ahead and find them in all these other DMZ maps on Mazra, Ashika Island, and Vondel. So it really doesn't give much of an advantage over other players. So to these YouTubers, especially and Customate, you guys are full of shit. You really are. You don't know what pay to win is. You have nothing to complain about when it comes to Activision and the developers, or Call of Duty, as if it was an actual living, breathing thing. You have nothing against the game itself. You complain about the dumbest, most trivial things, that it's amazing and how stupid you sound when you do. And the way that you rant about these things, you make other people, including myself, feel guilty for purchasing these bundles, because you make us feel that we're either cheating or that we're not good enough. It's one or the other, when in fact one is true and the other one isn't. Now, it's not true. We're not cheating when we buy these bundles, and it's true, maybe we're not good enough, and we just get our butts kicked against modders who do use pay to win. And pay to win would be paying for the Cronus or some sort of software to use cheats to mod your way to victory, wall hacks, hitboxes, and 2D mapping. and I can spot those when I see the kill cams. I know when someone's using those things, and nothing ever happens to them. That's a complaint that I sincerely, heavily have against Activision as developers. Whoever's running the show here, especially Phil Spencer, and which I doubt he's actually going to do anything about it. The guy buys something and it's pretty much like a, it's a shoot and just don't care where it lands kind of thing. He bought Activision, but he's not really taking care of the game. So, no, sorry guys, no. These bundles are not pay to win. They never will be pay to win. And unless these bundles come with some sort of modding ability, then they'll be considered pay to win. But until then, not really, not truly. So that was my rant. That was my video. If you have a bundle in particular right now and you have the Call of Duty points to buy it that you really want, and it's DMZ, and the reason why you didn't buy it is because these assholes made you feel guilty about it, don't listen to them. It's disinformation. They're full of crap. Buy it. Have fun with it. Don't buy it particularly just for DMZ. Buy it because you like it. Buy it because you want to enjoy it. Buy it because it's the operator that you follow the most. But don't worry about what these assholes have to say because they're full of shit. I support you guys buying your bundles for DMZ or just regular multiplayer. It doesn't matter if it's for anything in particular. But you're not less of a person because you do. So, thank you very much for watching, and like I said before, thank you very much for my subscribers. I appreciate you. And for anybody else that's new here, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Share to as many people as possible because we need YouTubers with an honest opinion and an unbiased one as well. And not someone who's just unhappy with something because things didn't go their way or they just don't have anything else to do during their daytime. So, thank you so much. That was me. Peace out.